And my baby sister who got killed at 13 years old, a drive-by?
Welcome to American Gang Wars. Today we're going to be tapping into the streets of LA, and we're going to be talking about the dangerous Sereno gang known as Florencia 13 or Florencia 13, who violated the Mexican Mafia's no drive-by rule, which led to the death of an innocent girl. Now, in the early 90s, the Mexican Mafia enforced a new set of rules for the Southern California street gangs, which included halting all drive-bys. And if anybody were to break these rules, they will be killed. Most gangs respected and embraced the new rules, but from time to time, there was always those who chose to defy these orders. Now, Florencia 13 is one of the oldest Chicano gangs in California, stemming back all the way to the 40s, right after World War II. Now, Florencia has been aligned with the Mexican Mafia since the 60s. They are one of the most ruthless gangs in Los Angeles, which includes drug dealing, kidnappings, and murders. Now, one of the most infamous murders was of a cop named Deputy Sanders in 1969 by Trinidad Iglesias, who was later inducted into the Mexican Mafia. Now, Florencia 13 has always been loyal to La M.A., but in the fall of 1995, this would all change. A few members would decide to go renegade and defy the orders. And on October 27, 1995, at around 7 p.m., the family of Toker from Brownside were enjoying their evening. Antonio Izquierdo, along with his 11-year-old daughter, Erika, were sitting on the hammock on the front porch in the Huntington Park neighborhood. They had just finished decorating the home for Halloween, which was only a few days away. Also outside was Antonio's son, Alex, and two of Erika's friends, Luis Lopez and Adrian Garcia. Moments later, a black Nissan Maximum would drive slowly past the house. Inside that car were members of Florencia 13, which included Jesus Munguia, aka Chuchi, also Cesar Moreno and Ricardo Perez. Now, Alex, while standing outside, saw the car pulling up, but he assumed that these were people that wanted to go to the backyard Halloween party, which was canceled earlier that day, but he was mistaken. Suddenly, the window of the black Nissan Maximum rolled down, and Chuchi leaned out with an AK-47 and opened fire. Everyone would start running. Antonio, who was still on the front porch, grabbed onto Erika and held her tightly, trying to shield her from the bullets. Luis Lopez and Adrian Garcia, who were both also on the porch, were hit with gunfire as they collapsed. Both teens were hit multiple times. Alex ran and hid to avoid gunfire. Now, the Florencia 13 members continued driving, but also gunshots could still be heard just a few blocks away as they passed the houses. This time, they took aim at two men walking on Stafford and Randolph Street. Both men would be shot. When all the smoke cleared and the gunshots finally stopped, Antonio would call out to Erika, "Mija," but she didn't respond. That's when he noticed that she had been shot in the head. Family members would immediately call 911. EMTs and officers would arrive shortly, and Erika and her two friends, Lopez and Garcia, would all be transported to Martin Luther King Hospital. Both Lopez and Garcia will be listed in fair condition and survive. But 11-year-old Erika would sadly die from her injuries just 2 hours later. The family would mourn the loss of their 11-year-old child, who was only in 5th grade, who had dreams of one day playing a violin. The news would break all over locally, but also this news would hit the prisons, and the Mexican Mafia will get word. Only days later, members of Florencia 13 will be contacted by a Mexican Mafia enforcer, demanding the shooter. Perez and Moreno, who both were in the vehicle, will give up Chuchi. Florencia 13 was given two options: either kill Chuchi or have the entire Florencia 13 greenlit. Nearly a week later, on Saturday, November 7th, members of Florencia 13 will go pay Chuchi a visit at his parents' house. Juan Cortez, aka Spanky, will get out of the car and walk up to the front door. Chuchi's mother would answer the door, and Spanky would ask could he speak with Chuchi. Moments later, Chuchi would come outside. Spanky and Chuchi would have a brief conversation when suddenly Spanky would pull out a gun and shoot Chuchi in the head. Spanky would continue to shoot Chuchi as he fell to the ground. Afterwards, he would hop right back into the car, and Florencia 13 would flee the scene. Now, Chuchi's parents would witness the entire murder of their son. Sometime that day, Florencia 13 members, Perez and Moreno, would both be arrested for the murder of 11-year-old Erika. Eventually, Spanky would also be arrested for the murder of Chuchi. Now, during the trial, Perez and Moreno will be found guilty of murder, and during his trial, Spanky will also be convicted of murdering Chuchi.
And I fucked all of their lives up, man. I wish I could take it back, man. My baby sister, man, Erika. They mistaken my mom's house for the enemy's house. My little sister passed away. I loved her so much and miss her so much, man. 11 years old, man. I kept saying 13, but my little brother, Alex, Clever, he checked me on that. He says, come on, dog. Our little sister wasn't that old, man.
I'd like to thank everybody for tapping in, and I'll see y'all next time.